everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from World of Flowers by Johanna Basford using the Schpirerr Farben Pencils, and I am going to do this cute little sort of long vine of flowers I guess today. I'm going to think a little bit about colour. I'm thinking maybe blue because we've got a little blue one here. We haven't got much more blue going on here, so I think blue might be a good choice. So I think I'll come in closer and then we'll have to just move it a little bit. I might get in my own way though. I have to move my pencils a bit. Could have planned this before I pressed record, but you know. Right, let's start at the top. Seems a good place to start. Come in a bit closer. Now I think I might do these flower middles first. They're quite nice. I think I'll do them in yellows. We haven't actually done a flower middle in yellow yet. We haven't got many flower middles actually. And I'll show you how I do them. So I don't just use yellow. I use a couple of colours. We've got a colour called maple, which might be where I'm going to start if I can find it. There it is. So here it is, maple. And you can see it's a brownish colour. But I've got it. Let me just check I'm on the top one, yeah. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of that, a little smile of maple at the bottom of each of my flowers. A bit more on this one, it's a bit larger. Like that. And moving up. There we go. It's a very sunny day today. It's not supposed to get too hot, which is good. Husband's just got very hot. He's been working in the garden. Oh, I'm out of shot, sorry. You missed me doing that one. It's just the same. He's been working in the garden sorting out the roof tiles. We had a roof tile come off. And we've got some spare ones in the garden. Long story, but so they had to, unfortunately the one that what had happened was it had we thought a roof tile had come off and landed in the gutter, which was, you know, our neighbour's got a nice long ladder. It's very kind and helpful. I'm going to use golden yellow next, and I asked him if he could help and he said yes, so we arranged for him to come and help. And he went up the ladder and found that actually it wasn't a small tile that had come off. It was a large tile that had cracked and fallen, and part of it had fallen off. But and we didn't have any of the right size to replace it. But he's very clever. He's got all the tools. So they found a large, two different size tiles. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. And just cut them down so they fitted in the space and popped it back up for us. So it's very kind of him. And it was sort of on a bit of roof that's in between the two houses, but it was definitely more on our side. So I'll have to get him a little thank you of some sort, and he talked to my husband about it and find out whether he might have given him some cash or something, I don't know. So I talked to him about it later. So they were doing that, and me and my boys went out shopping. We normally do a big grocery shop on a Saturday. It's Friday today, and I'm just going right over with the yellow, just over all of it. And if you're copying your me, where am I here? You'll see that you can still see the darker colours at the bottom, but in the camera, well, in my little screen, it's quite hard to see. It might be easier to see if you'll be watching. I'm assuming you'll probably be watching on a bigger screen. My screen is, oh, can't see the bottom one. My screen is just like that big, so it's really small. Right, there's our centres. Now we're going to do the petals in blue. Ooh, try and get this straight. There we go. Now, what should we use? Let me have a look at. I'm looking at the swatch chart, thinking about. I want a blue that we haven't used before. We could use Oh yeah, let's use the marine blue. I rather like that colour. It's quite intense. I think we'll be able to use it on its own without another colour and just fade it to the tips, but we'll see how it works. This is our first flower, yeah. So my plan is to make it a bit darker in here. It's quite intense. You don't need to press really hard to get quite a dark colour, but then to try and fade it towards the edge of the petal. I'm just trying to press really gently. I'm going to go back over a bit now. I just want to sort of experiment with how dark it's going to be. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to do the same thing through. So yes, so husband has just been sorting out all the roof tiles in the garden because a lot of them have got broken. Unfortunately, what happens is because we've got a glut of roof tiles in our garden and all their neighbourhood roofs look the same, sometimes the neighbours lose a tile or whatever and they'll come over and say, have you got a spare tile? So people search through them, and what they've been doing is being really clumsy with it, and they've broken loads of them. I mean, some of them I know had broken anyway from frost and being hit by a football. So there was that, but yeah, there were a lot of broken ones, so he just sorted them all out and moved all the broken ones to the side and put them all up on their ends so that they weren't piled on top of each other, so it's really easy to see which is which and pull them out, so then there'll be no more breakages. Is the plan. And the ones that are all broken he's left in a pile, which they'll need to go to the tip. They have a sort of hardcore skip at our tip where you can just put that sort of thing. They're concrete tiles, so. And so he put those all aside, but he's blocked a bit of the fence because we're noticing there's a rat run in our garden where a rat comes through from one neighbour, runs through our garden and goes to another one. Now, although that's okay because he's not stopping, maybe he will one day, she. And also, you know, we've had them in the house, so we want to try and discourage them from being anywhere near us, really. So he thought if he tried to block the rat run with the tiles, then maybe they'll find an alternative route that isn't via our garden. I mean, I had been tempted to put a some bait down, but I haven't got round to it. So, and actually last time I saw one in the garden and bait was put down, they didn't take it. So, I don't know if they're clever or if it just wasn't to their taste or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, so he was doing that. So me and boys went off shopping, came back, and the Olympic climbing was on. Now, I find this quite fascinating and exciting, but I'd missed half of it because we were out. I could have taken it back, but I didn't because I was just having a coffee and I knew I was going to come and do this because I have got a bit behind, so I need to do some videos. I've got 3 planned to do today, so finish this page basically, but this one's a little bit shorter because the next round of climbing comes on in about 20 minutes, and I thought this one shouldn't take me too long because it's quite samey, and the other 2 are a bit more detailed and complicated, so actually one is and one isn't, so it might take a bit longer, so I thought I'd come and do this one, and I'm sure it won't take that long, so I won't rush. And actually if it comes to the time that it starts and I haven't finished, I'll just pause it and go and watch it because I don't want to feel like I've got to rush just to get and watch the thing. But it'll be it's real fun, I think. They do fall off a lot, but they don't hurt themselves. They have lots of mats and they're used to falling, you know. But it was just mad. So he was he'd climbed up part of the wall. He was swinging from his 2 arms off a little ledge thing. Then he had to get across 2.3 meters. So he had to rock back and forth, you know, swing back and forth, and then let go and do sort of leap of faith and land. So it had something to land on, which was a sort of, it's all plastic, what they have to land on, so it looks really slippy. Had to land on this sloping plastic thing and his hand, there was only one handhold to grab to, and it basically had 2 finger dents in it, and that was it. The guy commentating said it's like an old-fashioned dial phone where you had to put your finger in the holes to dial the number. There were basically 2 of those, and you had to hang from that. It's like, flipping heck. No one I saw managed it, but apparently someone had earlier. But so I could have wound back the video and watched it, but I didn't, because I've got things to do. It's a shame because it's the thing I really am enjoying watching, but you know, it is what it is, and I'll watch the other part later, and that'll be good. I think they have to do something called lead. I think they're on a harness for that one, it's higher up. I'm not really quite sure what they have to do, so I'll find out later. But our Brits are in 3rd and 4th, so that makes it even more exciting if you've got a bit of interest in that, you know, you're supporting someone. I don't know them, you know, I mean, obviously not personally anyway, but what I mean is I'd never heard of them before. But I think this is the first year this has been in the Olympics anyway. I think last year they did it as a demonstration sport, and they did it slightly differently. And they've adapted it a bit this year to make it a bit fairer, because I think they had speed climbing, bouldering and lead all in the same thing, but they said speed climbing is such a different skill to the others that putting them all together didn't really work, so they've done speed climbing as a separate one, which I was watching yesterday actually, because the speed climbing are basically scrabbling up a wall fast in 5 seconds, so it's sort of, you have to be just quick, whereas the bouldering and lead, it's not about speed really. I mean, obviously you have a time limit, so you have to be, but you have to work it out. Which route am I going to take? With the speed climbing, the route is there, you can see it, even I could see it, and I know nothing. But with that one you have to work it out, and you know, there's a lot of hanging and pulling your body weight up, and it's all just a little bit, it's just very different. He said it's as different as hurdles and shot put, you know, it's just a completely different discipline. So anyway, it was quite fun, so I was watching that. But we're out all day tomorrow, so I'm trying to get as much fitted into the day as I can. Now we have the foliage, which we're going to do next. I'm just going to have a look at the greens and pick something. I think we can go with something fairly dark because, you know, the blue's dark, and I'm looking at, I'll show you my swatches. So the greens are here, so I feel that the shamrocks are bluey green. It would work, moss green and green, but I'm liking this emerald. I'm thinking that's going to work quite well. I've got all these. I don't think these olive greens are going to really work, so I'm going to use the emerald. I'm not sure if I've used it before, so I'm trying to use colours that I haven't used as well, just to try them all out really. I mean, I know I tried them all out in my sort of test video where I reviewed them, but you know, it's not the same as sitting down and properly putting them into a composition. But as I said a lot of times before, I am really liking these pencils. I think I might need a pencil case though, because there's 4 trays. It's quite a lot to handle on a desk. But I also could do the one for my chroma flow. Oh, I'm doing it out shot. I'm sorry. When I do the background for this, I think I'll zoom out because I know what I'm like. I'll be all over the place, and you'll be able to see better in a way if I just show you all at once. It'd be a bit, I think it would be a bit annoying if I'm going up and down with a book all the time as well, both for me and you. But yeah, I managed to get my boys out shopping with me. They helped me carry it, which was nice. I weren't very happy about it, but they haven't been out of the house for ages because we've had the plumbers in. I've got one coming this afternoon as well, but this afternoon I want to watch diving, so what I will do probably is, because it's a final and I want to watch it all that's come out, is when the plumber arrives I'll pause it, because you can pause, if you're not in the UK you might not know, is that I'm watching it on a feed, on an internet feed, it's a TV channel, and you can pause it so then you can come back to it and watch it later. I'm just having a look at all the background colours that I've done, so thinking about what to do here. I haven't done green yet. I'm in two minds whether to do a light green, because we've got orange and brown and pink. We've got two pink, we've got a yellow and so another really orange. There's a blue and a purple, a blue there. So I think I will go for a light green. We've got a lime, lemon green, I think might be better. Where's that? Here it is, lemon green. It's an odd name for a green. It's so what I'm going to do first, I think, is on all of these, I've done it a little bit darker on the edge. So I'm going to put down, you know, a line of colour. I've done a few layers. You can see I'm going back and forth a little bit, and do it all the way around. I'm just going to move that piece of paper out from under my arm. So all the way around this. Oh, I'm so hot. Whew, my face feels wet. I think it's a mixture of the fact that it is hot and a hot flush mixed together. Yay! But anyway. There we go. Sorry, no talking, just concentrating. And now I'm going to scumble around the edges and just fade it up towards our flowers. But I want to make sure that that line sort of disappears like that. Sort of fade it. Make the line disappear and fade the colour into the middle. I hope you can see. But it is just the same as I've been doing for the other backgrounds anyway. There we go. Yeah, I've got quite a bit going on. The kids have got a haircut at 1, so I need to make sure we have lunch on time. Well, and husband, he's taking them off for that. And then when they get back, husband's going to go off to his dad's, help him with a few jobs, which is nice. He's a bit poorly at the minute, so he's going to go and help him. I think he needs to go to the doctor's surgery, but I don't really know why. Maybe his prescriptions don't get delivered to his local chemist or something. I don't know why they don't set it up so that what my parents have done is their prescriptions go straight to their chemist from the doctor. In fact, mine, that's what my family do too. And then my parents, their chemist delivers straight to their house. So I'm wondering whether it's worth talking to him about having that done. But then I suppose he's got to be in. He's not always in. Because you've got to be, you know, when they're delivering medication, they're obviously really careful about making sure it's going to the right person. And my parents know their local chemist because it's not a town centre chemist. It's like a corner shop type chemist, if that makes any sense. So the chemist is based near their street in a little set of smaller shops. Then I've got a funny sign on my screen of my camera. It's really weird. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to go and look it up in the manual. But I am done with that one. It's quite simple, but I think it looks quite cute. We've got the tricky, this one is the one that's going to be quite tricky, but I think it looks, I'm sure it looks much more complicated than it is. It's doing the background that's going to be a bit tricky because there's lots of fiddly details, but I think we might do something light that we can just colour over everything to make it a little bit easier. Might even do the background first. I'll have a think about it anyway. But for now, that is me. So thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have a really super day and happy colouring.